sur le tapis rouge, l'équipe du film All We Imagine As Light, 20e an, sa réalisatrice, est entourée par ses actrices et acteurs. Dani Kushruti, Divya Prabha, Chaya Kadam. Le délégué général qui accueille.
I feel really privileged to be here because it's not a very big film, and it was just really nice to get this honor. There are a lot of filmmakers in the competition who I've studied and who I've really looked up to, so it just feels like what better place for this film to be at. I'm just trying not to think about it. It's really overwhelming and a super great honor, and it's nice because it's like the filmmakers you study when you're in film school, so it's incredible. And the pity is that I don't get to watch all the films, and I really wish I could have.
Producteur indien, et Julien Graff et Thomas Hakim, les producteurs français.
Because in India, it's if you want to make independent films that don't really fit into the Indian film distribution ecosystem, then it's still difficult to raise money. So I had to have a French co-production, and that just always takes time. I don't think it's specifically about women in India. It's a film about friendship, and I think that's a universal thing. And whether it's India or anywhere else, every woman suffers under the binds of patriarchy, and that sort of comes in the way of female friendship. And this was one of the core themes of my film. So the two main protagonists are from the southern state of Kerala, and they speak Malayalam. And Parvati, the character, she's from Maharashtra. She's actually from the village of from the district of Ratnagiri, and so she speaks Hindi. And it's not a language that the nurses speak very well, but it's one to communicate with. And this has been one of my sort of frustrations with having so many languages in our country, is that language becomes a kind of barrier. So the friendships are sometimes get a bit limited because of you don't speak the same. So in my utopian world of this film, I can make everybody unite in spite of having different languages. I wanted to have one day where we could be away from the city and work, almost like a day off. And when you take a day off, when you work a really hectic job, you don't really get especially if you live in a city like Mumbai, because you take 2 hours maybe to commute every day. You don't really have time for yourself or to think about anything. So I wanted the characters to come out of this for a brief moment and sort of experience life in a briefly different way to be able to reflect on their desires. I think there's quite a good representation now. So in the festival this year also there are various films about women with lead characters who are women. So I'm really happy about that. I think the Indian system, like I said, the Indian film ecosystem is very self-contained. It's not just Bollywood, but every state in our country has its own directors, their own film distribution system, financing, language, audience, and each of our states are like a mini country. So it's quite self-sustained. We have really, really good directors in various different languages. So I think like the distribution is quite well taken care of. So, and I think the films do travel to countries around us, and that's where they get shown a lot. It was a real pleasure working with actresses who are really talented, and they've been in a lot of art house films as well. One of them has 2 films in Cannes this year. So, and they were really generous with me with their time and worked with me for a long time before we actually shot the film. And for somebody who's just starting out and them already being so experienced, it was really generous. And it's really rare to find people who can say that the film is theirs as much as it's mine. So it was a real pleasure. So there was sisterhood there as well. I just hope that more Indian films get selected from now on. Perhaps this year already there was one in every section almost, which is really great. So maybe it won't take another 30 years. थोडे दिवस थांब अशी लाईन लागेल लांब मी पण बनूनच दाखवीन हिरो हिरो